Good morning, everyone listening to us. This is the African Portal Radio. We're coming to you live from Pretoria here in South Africa. This is African Voice with Khumo Afrika. We are live on the African Portal. We'll be giving you raw on this program this hour. It's going to be another beautiful time on this hour, on this program this hour, and we're going to enjoy ourselves as we have one of our very own that will be hosting on this program this hour, that will be having conversation around the African youth in 21st century. That is what we'll be talking about on this program. We have our guest that will be connecting with us on the African Portal Radio here in Victoria. They'll be having the conversation together. So please join this broadcast, share it, let it go viral. For those of you that are just coming in, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of this show this hour. It's going to be another beautiful time. As you know, the African Portal is for all African citizens and it's for African continent. So let's do it together. Together we can make Africa great again. Together we can find permanent solution to the problem facing African continent. Together we can rectify the past errors, and together we can change the mentality of the current generation from focusing on the past mistake and try to work towards the solution to the problem on ground. Thank you everyone that's joining us. We're going to have a beautiful time. Thank you very much. We can see your hands there. Mohani, thank you very much. All the way from Uganda, we really appreciate it. Please share this program. Share it, let it go viral. Share it, share it, share it. Thank you very much and God bless. Let's enjoy this music before we continue on this program this hour.
Monongeletin tewatin nasimakot iyotin onina wanika mompuling wamutanenotin ukunabe pepenawatin dutunyimba ulematin ebukimba mabotin ilena mona.
Thank you very much, those of you that are joining us. Thank you. God bless you. We have one of our very own in the studio already that will be having this conversation together. Please share this program. Let it go viral. We really appreciate those of you that are connecting to us, those of you that are sending us messages, those of you that are advising. We really appreciate you. All over the world, we greet and we salute everyone. Dumila, Ashe, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Babakatu, Barisa, to all African brothers, sisters in East Africa. We salute everyone. Welcome to the African Portal Radio, your one-stop media house in South Africa. We greet and we salute everyone. Once again, we say Dumela to everyone. We greet and we salute you. Mloi, we greet and we salute every one of you. In Nigeria, we greet every one of you. In Ghana, in all over Africa, we greet and we salute everyone. We welcome to the African Portal. We're very home in the studio with me that will be having this program together this hour. It's going to be a beautiful time on the African Portal Radio. It's going to be a time that we're having a conversation around things that have to do with Africa, conversation around things, the challenges facing African continent, the solution to the problem on ground, and as well, we will be talking about the progress. So we'll be talking about all this. We have one of the genius in the studio that will be having the program together, Mr. Tolerance MUTAKI, already with me on the African Portal Radio, is Vice Chancellor for Supreme Council of African Youth. And in South Africa as well. Is one of the African genius doing well for himself and the people that focus on the progress of African continent. And we have him on board with me that will be having this conversation this hour. Those of you that are joining us, thank you very much and God bless you. Let me use this time to welcome one extraordinary, talented, the one of the hero, the one of the legend in African continent, Mr. Tolerance MUTAKI on the African Portal. You're welcome. And how are you today? Please share this program, let it go viral. Let's have a conversation. If need be, we will need to put the our guest through the normal call because I think his network is not doing very well. So this is African Voice on the African Portal Radio TV. Right now is going to be a beautiful time on this hour that we'll be having deeper conversation on our radio. Thank you and God bless those of you that are connecting with us. We're going to establish a call to him. Probably we're going to launch him via normal call so that we can have a better conversation on this hour. Enjoy this music before we continue.
Someone tell them you're from a do war.
Thank you very much. Those of you that are joining us, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We still get working to get connected to our guests in the studio that will be having this show together. We are establishing a direct call to him to get him on the call so that we can be able to continue with this conversation. It seems to be that we are not going to be able to put him on the spotlight via his phone, but we can always get him on WhatsApp on direct call for us to have this conversation. Thank you and God bless every one of you. Khumo Afrika is the one that's supposed to handle this program, but unfortunately, we will not be in the seat because of one reason or the other. By the grace of God, you're going to see him again next week. He's going to be in the studio that will be having this conversation together. Everyone joining us all over the world, all over Africa, we greet and we salute every one of you. We welcome you to the African Portal Radio, your one-stop media house where everyone has say is happening right here, right now on the African Portal. It's going to be a lot of discussion around the things that is facing Africa, around the challenges that Africa is facing, most especially the problem facing the unemployment. As you know, on this program, we're talking a lot about unemployment among the youth in Africa. We talk a lot about it as well. We talk a lot about the challenges facing the African continent, economy problem, economic migrants, and we talk about a lot of things on this program. This is the program where we'll be having conversation around the issues and and the things that have to do with Africa, the challenges facing African continent, why we will not be able to do business within ourselves. We're talking we're talking as well about the agreement of the trade among African continent as well. We're talking about that. So we have a lot of things on board for you this hour that we'll be talking about on this show this hour. We have so much that we're going to offer you on this program. Let's enjoy this music before we continue as we are trying to establish a contact to our guests. Thank you so much, Mr. Tolerance. I will try to get in touch with you on the link, but I think the link is not going well. So let's continue here. Let's have it here. Let's just continue the conversation from here. But before that, let me allow you to introduce yourself to my audience. Where you are, who you are, and the position you hold in the society.
Oh, thank you so much, my brother, for this opportunity. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much, Africa. Everybody who is listening. This is TOLERANT MUTAKI from South Africa. Originally, I'm from Zimbabwe, actually, but I moved to Africa sometime in 2017. Now, I'm aligned with an organization named the Supreme Council of African Youth, and it's an international youth organization that focuses on trying to make sure that youth are involved as well as much as possible to day-to-day running of our African continent. So I am based in South Africa, and I'm the ambassador of Supreme Council of Youth in South Africa. We have Africa's total number of something 28 across South Africa. Supreme Council of South Africa.
Thank you very much. A lot of people are joining this broadcast. A lot of people are listening to us all over the world. Your line seems not too clear. We are not having a good signal from your side, but I'm going to see what we can be able to do so that we can be able to have a smooth conversation on this program. I'm trying to link you up via the link, but unfortunately you are not getting connected to that link. But let's continue here so that we can start the program and we can as well reach some conclusion on some issue. The topic before us this morning, it have to do with African youth. But before that, let me just quickly give you the background of where we're coming from this conversation. We've had a lot of conversation around the issue of migrants before, and we also have a lot of conversation regarding the African economy, and we have conversation regarding the challenges facing the African youth. And today we want to be talking about the African youth at the 21st century. That is the topic that we will be talking about this hour, that I want us to actually look at the things and challenges facing the African continent and the African youth. You as a person that have understanding of what is going on in Africa and representative of African youth as well, you see the in and out, you'll be able to address, because I think it's the right time for us to start having a better and good conversation about ourselves and the solution to the problem facing the African continent. And that is the reason why this program, that is why we put this program together, for us to be doing that. Firstly, let me say this. Welcome to the African Portal Radio TV International. You've introduced yourself. You tell us where you're coming from. You're originally from Zimbabwe, but you reside in South Africa at the moment as the Chancellor for Supreme Council of African Youth. Can you please give us a kind of, what is this organization? What does it stand for? When is it formed? And what is the effect of this organization in African continent and in our society?
Yeah, the Supreme Council of African Youth is an international organization of youth from different African countries. You can see that we have people from, now we have a representation of the total number of African youths that sum up to 28 countries. And of those 28 countries, we have a total of more than 6,000 youths across Africa. And just to list like our part of our vision is the Supreme Council of African Youth. We have a vision, and the main vision will be to create a united Africa, an Africa where people speak with one voice and where people work together for one cause, and to promote African development and make sure that Africa speaks as one people.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. When we firstly put you in through the link, a lot of people join this conversation, but currently the people watching this program are very low. Please tell others to connect to this broadcast so that we can have this conversation. For those of you that would like to call in, or you want to ask one or two questions about the topic that we'll be talking about today, you can call us on +2778703 3584 is number to call as well. If you want to throw any question in, feel free to send us your questions. Send it to us via Facebook or via this platform as well. You can always call us or send us SMS, or you can send us web message as well. God bless you. Really good. We are also on WhatsApp. You can send us a message on WhatsApp as well. Let's quickly look at what you just said now about the organization, what the organization stands for, and the effect of the organization in African continent. You say you are in 28 countries in African continent. When is this organization? When is it established? And what are the benefits, or what are the things that this organization have done in the society that we can refer to as a progress? It seems that we lost you there. If you are hearing me, we are not hearing you. If you are hearing me, I think your network is giving a kind of challenge there. Let's quickly see if we can be able to establish another connection back to him so that we can continue the conversation. The African youth at the 21st century is the topic that we'll be talking about this hour. For those of you that are just joining us, thank you very much and God bless you. We are going to enjoy ourselves on this program, and we're going to have a beautiful, lovely time on this show as well. As we are trying to connect to our guest, his network is giving a kind of challenge, so we're trying to work in towards that so that we can get a better network for us to have a smooth conversation on this program. Thank you very much, those of you that are joining us. Benny Ahmed Banjo, thank you very much. Well done, bro. Where is Khumo? Hope everything is fine. Yes, everything is fine. Khumo is not in today due to some challenges that we're having on the other side. So Khumo is fine, but it's not on the African Portal program this hour. It will be here again by the grace of God next week. We appreciate, but I think network problem may be from your studio. No, it's not from the studio. The studio is fine. The network of the person we are connecting to is the one giving problem. His network is giving a lot of problem. Even on WhatsApp, it's still breaking. So we are trying to establish another connection to him. So thank you very much, those of you that are joining us. Please share this program and let it go viral. We'll appreciate your comment as well. Thank you and God bless you. Very good. We are having challenges with your network. Your network is breaking even on WhatsApp. The link we sent to you was sent to you for you to come into the show, but unfortunately we are unable to host you through that link, and the WhatsApp is giving a kind of challenge. But let's continue. We will see what we can do as time goes on that. Thank you very much. Are you still there? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Your network is giving a kind of challenge, is breaking, but we're trying to see if we can send more signal to you for us to have a better network and a good conversation on this program. Let's take it a bit further. We are having conversation on the organization which you represent in South Africa, Supreme Council of the Youth. When is it established, and what are the vision and mission of this organization?
The vision, the Supreme Council of African Youth, is to create economic inclusion of the general African youth across the continent, and we seek to do that through engaging with and mobilizing the youth around the continent so that they can come together and form a group of African youths that can engage with the legislature or government and all the top government departments. And our vision as an organization is to see a developed and united Africa whose youth participation in governance issues that allow youth consistency to demonstrate only willing and build for the positive and lasting changes. So the vision, as part of the vision, we have a direct mission which includes the fulfillment of social and economic justice for the African youth. We also seek, as part of the objective as well, we also demand for youth inclusion, decision making, and we seek for aid in financial aid for youth development in effective product programs and whatever they want to venture in their discipline, the variety of disciplines. We also oppose neo-colonialism in Africa. We see that Africa is behaved the issues of neo-colonialism and democracy being said misinterpreted in Africa. So those are the kind of issues that we try to mainly focus on, try to eradicate Africa. Also, the issue of gender equality is of major importance as well to us as the Supreme Council of African Youth. We try to achieve all these objectives through forming a huge force of united African youth. You can see Africa as Africans were not that united, but now we are trying to unite on our own. We want to just unite on our own as general youth of Africa. We unite ourselves, we come together, we organize ourselves. So that even when we approach the government or our leaders,
Sorry about that. Its network is giving a kind of challenge. We are having a conversation around the importance of the Supreme Council of Africa. That is what we are talking about, but its network seems not to working perfectly. We're going to see what is exactly the problem is. Then we're reconnecting back to the show. Thank you very much, those of you that are listening to us. This number is giving a lot of challenges and the network is breaking. So we are hoping that its network is going to be back and it's going to be very strong so that we can continue with the conversation. Most of the things that we'll be talking about is going to focus on the development of African youth, and it's going to base on the challenges facing the African youth. Our guest, the network of our guest is giving a kind of challenges. But thank you to Khumo Afrika for joining us. It's also live on the African portal right now as we are having conversation around things that have to do with youth and things that have to do with challenges facing the African economy. African will be great when all of us can do contribute our quota to the greatness of this continent. And the earlier we do that, the better. And that is going to find a permanent solution to some of the problem facing the African continent. And for us to find solution to that problem, The youth needs to be engaged. We have to engage the youth. We have to include the youth. We have to be inclusive thing so that we will be able to sit down and see what the solution it is, the solution that we need to take Africa to the next level. The earlier we do it, the better. Khumo Afrika is already on the African Portal Radio. Our guest line is giving a lot of problem. His network is not going well. But kindly, quickly help me greet our people and mention, let them know where you are and who you are.
I'm talking from Chancellor. How are you, sir?
Unfortunately, the line is not clear as well from the Khumo side as well. So we are just having a conversation around the things that have to do with African youth are the 21st century. What are the things that you want to say about it? Kindly call us on number on the screen +277033584. Call us. Let's know your view about the African youth and the challenges facing the African youth. African youth at 21st century is what we'll be talking about this hour. The network of our guest is giving a lot of problem, and we're trying to see how we can be able to rectify the problem so that we can have a smooth conversation on this program this hour. Thank you to everyone. Bless you all for joining us. We are still waiting to get established to establish the call to our guest in the studio. His network is not connecting. We are just trying to see how we can be able to have a conversation around him. Thank you, everyone, and God bless you. Really good. Thank you very much. We realize that, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you. It's happening right now. The network of our guest is not good. We are unable to take him in through the through the link, and as well, we are unable to get him on WhatsApp now. His network is giving a lot of problem, but still, the show is still continuing. God bless you. Thank you, everyone, joining us. This is the African Portal Radio, your one-stop media house where everyone have a say. We having a conversation around things that have to do with African continent, things that have to do with our challenges, things that have to do with how we can progress in our community, most especially among the youth. That is what we'll be having conversation around. Our guest number is not connecting. If you have opportunity to get in touch with him, please connect with us and let him know that we are still waiting for him. We are waiting to engage our community. We are waiting to showcase the African blessings. We are ready to showcase things that have to do with Africa. Youth have played a very big role in African continent in the past, and currently as well, the youth of today needs to wake up to the reality so that they will be able to find permanent solution to the problem facing African continent. Thank you very much, everyone, joining us. Welcome to the African Portal Radio. We have one of our very own in the studio is back now. His network has been given a lot of problem. We're trying to rescue this network, but the network on his side is very, very bad. So thank you very much. Please share it. Let it go viral. We are waiting for you. If you are there, please just let them know that you are here. Yeah, we're having a challenges with his network. We are trying to see how we can be able to get a better network or signal from his side. At his phone is giving a lot of, also he doesn't want to connect. Even though if he's connect, he's not hearing us. I think that have to do with network problem. But on our side, everything is 100%. We have increased the signal and we have showcased that this thing is going well on our side. Thank you very much. Mr. Tolerance, your line is giving a lot of problem. We are not getting connected to you. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, your line seems to be giving a kind of problem. But let's quickly go to the business of the day. Let's open the floor and have the conversation around things that have to do with Africa, with achievements, and with African continent as well. You mentioned something last time that is very significant, and I'm very happy about it. And that is, you talk about the Africa in the content of where your organization is coming in to be part of what is happening in Africa, to be part of the solution, and to also be part of people that is taking Africa to the next level. And for this, I really give you guys kudos for a well done job and for a great work that you guys are doing on your side there. But the African Porter still on the program. Your network is very bad, but we will remain here until your network is getting better. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Really good. We are still here. We are waiting for you. Thank you so much, and God bless you. We're going to enjoy some music, and advertisement is going to go in before we continue. Let us go into our advert. Let's quickly check one or two adverts before we continue on this program this hour. We have so much thing that we are going to brought your way on this show this hour. But please stick back. Let's enjoy together. Don't get out of the line. Stay there. Let's do it together. The network of our guests is giving a lot of problem. We are unable to establish a better communication to him. But we hoping that he's going to connect us before we step down on this program this hour. We believe that he's going to join us soon. His network is very, 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 very poor. But we will see what we can do from our side here to get a better network. Let's go to the advertisement and let's hear what we have for you on our advert today. Then we take it from there. Let's hear from the African Portal Radio, your one-stop media house where everyone have a say. The African Portal is home for all. Let's celebrate it and let's promote.
Èdè tàbí àṣà, sinimá nípa ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, ìwé tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, orin nípa ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, ká gbé ètò jáde nípa ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ tàbí ká pàtẹ àwọn olórin ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ láti lè jẹ́ kí ayé mọ ohun tí wọ́n ń ṣe. Má wọ̀ tún, má wọ̀ sí, máa bọ̀ wá ní African Portal, ibùdó kan ṣoṣo tó ní àwọn irinṣẹ́ ìgbàlódé fún àgbéjáde ìwé, orin, sinimá àgbéléwò àti àwọn ẹ̀bùn nípa ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ bí wọ́n ti ń bá ní ya fọ́tò àríyá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń tẹ́ pẹpẹ ètò tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ lábẹ́ ìdarí Joshua Dáre Olúsan, akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ tó mọ̀ nípa tìfúntẹ̀dọ̀ àṣà Yorùbá, kábàánì yàwòrán àwọn ẹ̀bùn lọ́kànjọ̀kan tó jẹ́.
Thank you very much. We just get our guest in the studio now. Let's hope that his network is fine now. Yes, welcome back.
Welcome back, my brother. I'm trying to connect with my other device. Just maybe give me 2 minutes. I'll be done. I'm already almost in now.
All right. Okay, let's see how it goes.
I'll use the link that you gave me, but using a different device. I think this device is the one that we have got a problem.
All right, sure, no problem. We are still here.
You can just don't.
Thank you very much, everyone joining us. It's happening right now, right here on the African Portal Radio. A lot of people are trying to connect to the broadcast, but unfortunately, our guest line is giving a lot of hassle. His network is not going through, so we try to establish a better network to him so that we can have smooth conversation on this program at this hour. So thank you very much, everyone joining us. Please, let's have a patience with the network. We're going to go live now where we'll be talking about things that have to do with Africa. God bless you. Very good. We're still here waiting for him to get connected to the program. Hope you enjoy the first hour of your day, the first quarter of your day. Please remember that the day is for God, and let's enjoy the moment that we have, because when today is done, we can never get it back again. Yes, welcome back. Your network is giving a kind of challenge earlier on, but I believe we're going to have a smooth conversation now. Trying to establish a connection to you in Cape Town where you are. If you are hearing me, just speak. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm just trying to fix my headphones.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's going to be a beautiful time in the studio. For those of you that would like us to profile you, you want to be part of what we are doing in this house. This is African Portal Radio, where everyone have a say. We're giving it raw, we're dishing it out raw. If you want us to also host you or tell about the story of what you are doing, contact us on +277033358 is number to call. Let's do it together. Together we can make African great once again. And we have one of our very own in the studio, Mr. Tolerance Mutak, on the African Portal Radio TV International. Thank you, everyone, joining us. It's a beautiful afternoon time here in the studio. Are you well, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, my brother. How are you doing?
Doing well, doing well, doing well, doing well. I have a lot of people connecting to this. Samson Efong, thank you very, very much. Samuel Efong, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay, let's continue with the business of the day about the organization that's called Supreme Council for the youth in Africa. You said that it's in 28 countries and they have their footstep in other parts of Africa as well. And you talk about the role of this organization in African continent as well. And you talk about the benefits that people can also derive from this organization as well. I'm taking you to one of the important aspects of this conversation, which is we will be discussing about the topic ahead of us, the youth at the 21st century. What does it mean? Why youth at the 21st century? Are they doing well? Do you need to change some certain things? What is the difference between them and the old generation? Let's look at it.
Yeah, to discuss African youth of the 21st century, maybe we need to go back to the basics of being an African youth and quality some of what we can do as African youth. And we can see that we are trying to look for people that are mature and responsible, independent, confident, and also open-minded and thoughtful. And we can see that being in African youth, it comes with responsibilities as well. It's not just because of age that you say only because I'm between this age 18 to 35 or between 18 to 34, so I qualify to be an African youth and I'm an IG African youth. That's not all that is expected. Actually, it comes with your prize, you having responsibilities. That's expected to be doing as well. And you can see part of those responsibilities of the like community service, African youths that with a concrete role in development of Africa. So to differentiate between the youth of today and the youth of back then, maybe in the late 19th century and the early 20th century, we can see that the youth of the early 20th century and the late 19th century, people that we talk about Africa for that gave us the political freedom that we get. And we have many people like Kenneth Kaunda, a lot of founding fathers of Africa. They started the war to fight against colonialism, slavery, and all those things back then. Like Kenneth Kaunda, I mentioned, was just 27, organized of the northern province of northern Rhodesia, National Congress. And guys like coming to Ghana, he formed a party that had the sole purpose of immediate action. And so you can see that the youth of back then had. Now comparing to youth of today needs a bit of a shift of focus. Things that are putting an issue that are affecting behavior African countries. On top of that, you can see that we are so scattered
Sorry, let me quickly interrupt you there.
yeah.
We are having a bit of challenge with your audio. Your audio is not clear. Your audio is not clear, and there are so much noise coming in from your audio. Is it possible for you to lower the radio that I mean the phone that you are listening to? Then try to make sure that you are speaking directly to the phone so that we can be able to hear you clearly. What you are saying is not clear at all. I've tried, I've listened to it in different way. I've used the earphone and I've checked it as well directly from you. What is coming out of from you is not clear. Can you lower the volume of the voice that you are listening to? Try to speak directly to the phone so that we can hear you clearly. Let's quickly do that.
Sorry, my brother. I'll try
Thank
to
you
do
very
this.
much, everyone joining us. Yes, I think it's getting better now. Just try as much as possible to speak straight to the phone so that we can be able to hear you clearly. And make sure you reduce the volume or you switch off every other device in around you. Switch every other device off so that we'll not be picking echo from other devices.
Yeah, I got you, my brother. I'll do just that. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Thank you. I can hear you now. It's better now. It's very much better now.
Yeah. I'm using my headphones now. I was using directly the phone, but now I think it's better. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think this will be better. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, now let's take it a bit further. Let me just quickly some tricky questions to you regarding what is happening. Because if we are talking about the African youth, they are experiencing what we are experiencing. Last week, this happened to me personally, where a police officer harassed me right in the uniform, telling me, you Kwere, you Nigerians, you must go back to your country. A police officer saying that in uniform. He came to my house and he's telling me, you are full of shit. You Nigerians, you are useless. You Nigeria, you are full of this. You must go back to your country. If a police officer is saying that in the uniform and it's also a youth, I say that the future of this continent is going to be somehow, because some people still not get the message that we are not nation that we are mentioning. We are Africa. There is way you can become whoever you become in an African first. Whether you are in Zimbabwe, whether you are in Nigeria, whether no matter which country you are from, that name is given to us by the colonial masters. The truth of the matter is that we are Africa. That is the truth of the matter. And as a youth, we want us to talk about it and look at it from the content of being youth in the African 21st century. What are the things that we need to improve on? What are the challenges facing us? And what are the problems that we need to attend to now before it's too late? Let's quickly look at that. About that, what is the solution to the problem on ground? And how can we attend to those problems?
Yeah, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. I hope you are hearing me. You can hear me clearly now, and everyone can hear me clearly.
I'm hearing you clearly now. It's far better now.
Thank you. That the problem that you mentioned about police brutality it's a real issue in Africa across almost all African countries. You can see that police brutality is an issue that is emerging as a cause of concern across Africa, and we've got countries recently we've had situations that were things that were happening in Nigeria. And we had also police brutality in Zimbabwe sometime early 2020. So it's actually something that is happening in Africa, and the main cause of concern about the issue is that police military are now being used as political tools. And that's actually something that we all African, not only youth, even the elder groups can also feel the heat about police brutality because it affects everyone. And it's a major, it's part of the problems that we face today as African youth. It's a tool that is being used to marginalize, segregate, and stereotype African youth, and that's creating fear in the population, that people will be even scared to speak out, to voice out their concerns, or maybe to just try to engage. People will lose hope of where to.
Thank you very much. Are you still there?
Yeah, sure.
I'm with you. Are you still there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me start with the question one. But before that, there is a question that is very, very important that I want us to quickly talk about before the network break away. Let's talk about the free trade agreement between African continent. The free trade agreement. What is there for the youth, most especially when African is facing with this problem of unemployment in Africa? This free agreement, what is the benefit in it, and the youth needs to play so that they will be able to be the partaker of that opportunity?
Yeah, the continental free trade area actually is a concept that tries to promote unity in economic development across African countries, and it's a move that can bring about a lot of benefits if implemented correctly, because we are now talking of Africa that is united economically. You can see that our countries have got GDPs of around between 3 billion and maybe up to 500 billion. That's the max. No economy in Africa goes beyond that, and there'll be like Mickey Mouse economies, and they can't be competent enough on the global stage. But now, when we are talking of a continental free trade area, that will mean to say we are bringing together our continental GDP, our countries' GDPs, to formulate one strong force economically as Africans, and this will give us a total of 13 billion people and a total of GDP of around 6.7 trillion US dollars. Meaning to say, we have created like the capital will be there, and as we do things with the continental free trade area, that will mean to say some of the benefits will be limited restrictions to trade across Africa. Meaning to say the cost of running a business as well will be a bit lower, especially for those small enterprises. You can easily, the youth, you can see some of the challenges that we as youths face as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, is the lack of capital. We don't have access to funds, we don't have collateral to get credit, we don't have assets to maybe sell and start a business. But now, because the cost of running a business is a bit lower, you can see now maybe the restrictions at the border will be a bit limited. You can move freely, and you don't have to pay duty to move the product that you want to sell from South Africa to Zambia. So the cost of running the business is a bit lower. So youth will basically benefit in terms of entrepreneurial opportunities. They'll be there as you need lesser now to start a small business. And the other issue as well that youth can benefit is the issue of employment. the more we get to new enterprises that are opening up on day-to-day basis and having people opening new businesses, that will create much more employment, and that will mean to say the majority of African youth, the youthful population, the able-bodied one, those that can get the economy running, can get into the can involved into the system and start production, and actually it will be a win-win situation from the perspective of African youth and the economies as well, because the more youth start to be involved in economically, that will mean to say even our production, the GDP of the economy, the GDP per capita, our standards of living will be improving as a people. There's also this group that can be a major player in the continental free trade area. That's the diaspora youth, the diasporian youth. Us youth here in Africa, at times we have this problem of lack of capital, access to funds, and we don't have like the know-how. But the youth in the diaspora have got access to almost all that. They've got access to like first world IT. They've got access to funds, and they can have access to, maybe they've accumulated some assets, and they can be a major driver to the success of the continental free trade area if they are going to be actively involved in the implementation of this free trade area as direct investors and pumping in some funds so that the trade in Africa can surely run with enough capital and with enough cash liquidity in the economy.
Let's take it this way to make it easy for our listeners to have a clear understanding. Let me take it from part of the question that we need to address today. I like what you say regarding for those of you that are listening to us, for us to just give a clarity of what we are talking about. We are talking about the African youth in the 21st century. And we're talking about the challenges facing Africa, and we're talking about things that we need to improve in Africa. And that is where we are talking about the free trade agreement that was signed by African continent, and that's for us to be able to do business within ourselves. And one of the questions I want to throw to you is that, do you think that youth are ready to participate in this? And if yes, do you think that this will bring solution to solve the problem of unemployment, illiteracy, political violence, terrorism, tribunal conflict, intolerance in Africa? Do you think this will bring the solution to a problem I mentioned?
Yeah, we can say African youths are ready to be part of this continental free trade area and actively participate in the development of Africa. That's surely, I think, is obvious to every African youth, and you can see the power that they are coming up with in trying to get involved into the economic system, though facing various challenges for them to make a breakthrough and be actively involved. So the problems that you mentioned about employment, illiteracy, political violence, and terrorism, including also religious intolerance, are real issues that need to be addressed with African youth if the continental free trade area is to be implemented. And to tackle each one, and to start with unemployment, I think it all starts from the minds of the youth. How are they going to fix their mindset and try to move on in a positive way? valuing the issues that need to be valued first. You can see, when I say the mindset, I'm trying to go back to the issue of maybe entertainment. You see, our African youths are mainly focused on European sports, European music, and European movies, and so on. They are more into like the social life of maybe the so-called celebrities and all that. But when you come talking about let's use and try to gather them and try to discuss about the future of Africa, you can see that a very low percentage will give you an ear and sit down to listen to you. And so that's just an example that can show you that we need to shift our focus as African youth. We need to take our future seriously and try to put it first, make it the first priority in our lives, and try to make the small change that we want to see. And the issue of unemployment will be solved by youth in a way of creating the small to medium enterprises. That's a major economic part as well. Like as we can see, maybe in Nigeria, the small to medium enterprises, they contribute something like 48% of the GDP of the economy of Nigeria. So if youth are going to be involved in trying to formulate new businesses, small businesses, it doesn't like a big thing, or maybe try to formulate a Nokia like organization in one day. We can just start small, use what we have, and work together. I think we can eradicate the problem of unemployment. And the other problem that you mentioned was illiteracy. And the problem of illiteracy is mainly affecting the rural population, especially the youth that are in rural areas. You can see that access to education is very, very, very low in rural areas of Africa. Because when we say rural in Africa, it will be the rural. It will be something you can't even. I have been in rural areas in Zimbabwe, and you can see that some of the living conditions and the educational systems in the rural areas really is a cause of concern, and they need to be improved, and as soon as possible. So I think we just have to extend like access to education to mainly focusing on the rural population, the rural youth. The moment we focus on the rural youth and get to them and to make sure that we give them the education that will prepare them for economic inclusion and prosperity in the fast-changing world of the 21st century, I think illiteracy can surely be eradicated. We've seen good stories before about illiteracy. We have seen illiteracy in Zimbabwe changing during the reign of President Robert Mugabe. We saw that Zimbabwe, the black youth population that was marginalized during the colonial era was lifted into a huge literacy rate, and now Zimbabwe is one of the countries with a high percentage of literacy, and it was all because education was forwarded to those marginalized, poor, segregated people that would be in the rural areas and who doesn't have access to real education. So, and the other problem will be the political violence. You are the one who mentioned the case that happened to you with the police, and those are some of the issues that we are facing as African youth that are hindering our progress to development. And we can see that political violence is.
So just talk about the political violence. Then we can move on to, because of our time is fast spending. We have only 1 hour for this show, and we are just left with about 30 seconds to round up this show. And we still have a lot of questions that we will need to discuss. I actually understand that the next problem doesn't let us get into the show earlier before now. But with that, I will add another 5 minutes to this show for us to be able to touch some of the things that is very important to African continent and to the African youth. The progress of Africa, we don't want to be talking about the problem alone. We want to be talking about the solution, because if we can identify a problem, we must be able to identify the solution to the problem. Everybody can identify a problem, but not everybody can find solution to a particular problem. The African Portal is not there to just identify the problem. We are there to find a permanent solution to every problem facing the African youth, most especially in some advanced of African continent. And those are the things that I think we need to be talking about as well. But let's look at the area of culture, the African culture. It seems to say that most of the African youth prefer to follow the trend of the other parts of the world than follow the African way of life. What do you say to that? And what is the solution to that? Are you there?
Oh, sorry.
You with me?
Your phone was your audio was breaking a little bit,
Okay.
so I was just trying to.
Okay. Okay. What I'm
was
saying is
breaking a
that.
little bit.
Okay, let me repeat.
Yeah,
Let me
sure.
repeat myself. What I said is we have a lot of time people identify problem in Africa. We want to be talking about the problem and we want to be talking about the solution. The African Portal, we are the door between the current generation and the past generation. And the solution to every problem lies in our hand. What I'm saying is that let's look at the culture. The problem of culture in African continent is more rampant because of youth prefer to follow the other part of the world culture than follow the African culture. What is your view to that, and what is the solution to that problem?
Yeah, the problem of culture is also another pertinent issue, as we see that culture goes beyond just tradition and how we do things. It goes to also the issue of language, music, and religion as well. So we can understand that it is one of the ways that we are affected by the issue of colonialism, and you see now youth adopt more of the European or international culture and overshadowing the African culture. And also on the issue of trying to solve the issue of cultural overshadowing, I think we need to adopt, like for the case of language, maybe as Africans, if we adopt our own international language, for example, Swahili, it will be easier for us to do away with maybe some of the dominant languages like English and French. And it all depends on us whether we are ready to do without those international languages. And so I think African youths need to be educated on how they need to take our culture seriously and to keep it alive, because culture gives us an edge when we go to the international edge, to the international economic stage. As you can see that.
Okay, continue. You can continue.
Oh, it's fine, my brother. It's fine. I was saying the issue of culture, like affects us in different spheres. Education, you can see in education, language, dressing, you can see that we are being infiltrated. But to solve that, what one of the ways we can do that is by creating like an education system. Like maybe in education, we can create an education system that focuses mainly on us as a people, rather than creating an education system that only focusing on teaching us how things are being done internationally. We can maybe create a curriculum that teaches our youth how our traditional dishes are made and what food we used to see in Zimbabwe used to use our traditional pots. We can teach about our youth about those kind of stuff so that they get to be aware of what the African culture has and what the African culture is like and who they are as a person and internally who they are as African people. Because we see with curriculum subjects like food and nutrition, but we rarely talk about okra and some other traditional dishes. All we'll be talking about is we'll be talking about European dishes, the Portuguese dishes, and some other fancy so-called fancy dishes. So it's something that we need to correct in terms of the education system. We can use the education system as the major factor to try and teach our youth on how they can adopt like some other cultural issues.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tolerance. It's a great pleasure having you on this program this hour. We all have a role to play, not only to talk about the problem we are facing, but to talk about the solution to the problem that we are facing. And one of the solutions that you mentioned is that it's time for African youth to think outside the box, for us to embrace our culture and our diversity, and to value our language, so that we unite ourselves and to have a common language that can unite us as African continent, for us to be able to find permanent solution to some of the problems facing Africa. The time is fast spent, and I really appreciate you that you come out to be part of this show this hour. And I believe if I call you next time, you will be able to be part of this program and to discuss further on things that have to do with Africa in 21st century. And I believe as well that goes on, we'll still have another conversation that we are going to be discussing the importance of Africa importance of African youth in 21st century. Thank you so much. In wrap up, I just want you to give an advice to our listeners and to the youth in Africa.
Oh, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for your time as well. Thank you for having me. We had like problems at the beginning of the show, but luckily we were able to go on and discuss one or two things together. And yeah, that's how we can take the positives that we yielded from this conversation today. To go back to your question on the issue that you posed, I think we can see that as youth, there's a lot of work to be done, and there are a lot of issues that need our attention. So I think it would be better if the African youths are to like first things first, the first things first, get their priorities, set their priorities right, and make sure that they put first the things that really matter, and their future has to be of so importance to everything that they do and all they plan. And it's all in our hands as youths. We get all the time, and all we can do anything for our future. The future is for us to make, and the time is now. We have been on the discussion table for too long. We can't stay planning and keep on planning and planning until forever. We need to act now. Now is the time for solution. Now is the time to bring up the change that we want to see in Africa. Because now is the time for us to create the Africa that we want to see. We all have the ideal Africa that we dream of, and no one is going to come and do it for us, or try to implement that in Africa for us to benefit. Actually, the international community benefits when Africa is so no one will ever come and benefit us from this problem, but it all depends on us, and so we need to action. Action is the main thing, right? Action, and to move forward. And with one voice, unity is the major factor. We need to be united as African youth. We need to come together. We need to speak with one voice and form a common drive towards our common goal.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that advice that you drop in the space. And I believe that most of the youth listening to us, one thing that I want to add to it is that we need to recognize that we are Africa because we are born in Africa. Africa because Africa is born in us. So it's either stop this talk of you are from this, you are from that, you are from that we're talking about in Africa. Let's focus on growth, and let's focus on things that can bring solution to the problem of Africa. Let's work towards how we can create or eradicate poverty in Africa, and that is something that we need to focus on, not focus on things that is dividing us. What unites us is better than what is dividing us, which is love. So let's love ourselves. Let's love ourselves. Let's concentrate on what is uniting us than what is dividing us. The tactics they are using is divide them to rule them. So it's time for us to get away from this. Let's unite ourselves. Don't let us divide ourselves. Let's unite ourselves and find common solution to all the problems that African continent is facing. God bless you. So thank you very much. God bless you for coming out to be part of this show this hour. We really appreciate it. And we will see you again by the grace of God anytime soon. And I hope that if we call you again, you will be happy to be part of this show. I hope so.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you very much. Before you go, let me just allow you
God bless you.
name again, where you are. Please just mention your name again, who you are, and the position you hold in the society.
Yeah, I am Tolerant, Mr. Tolerant MUTAKI, like from Zimbabwe, currently in South Africa. And I'm aligned with the organization, it's the Supreme Council of African Youth. It's an organization that it's an international organization of youths. And I'm speaking as the Vice Chancellor of the African Youth. And here in South Africa, I'm the ambassador of the Supreme Council of African Youth, South Africa.
Thank you very much for coming out, and God bless you. To our listeners, thank you very much. This will be the end to this broadcast for this hour. Our time is fast spending because of the network problem, but we are able to have conversation and talking about one or two things that have to do with African continent and African youth. Let's do it together. Africa will be great again. One love and one Africa. When we love ourselves, this continent will be a better place to stay. But when we are dividing ourselves and we call ourselves names, then we are not working towards the progress. Rather, we are working towards the backward of this continent. So let's work towards the forward of this continent, and let's unite ourselves. Let's love ourselves. Let's celebrate ourselves. Let's concentrate on what unites us, which is love. And let's concentrate on how we can build ourselves, tear ourselves apart. God bless Africa, and God bless everyone listening to us. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day. This is the African Portal Radio, your one-stop media. For those of you that would like to sponsor or to be part of what we are doing in this program, you're more than welcome to call us on +277-870-33584. Sponsor for us to be able to be coming out every day to be talking about things that have to do with Africa. Together we can, together we will, and God bless you very good. Enjoy this music from us to you, and God bless you good. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Oh, Namakamboye.